Hello, everyone, and welcome to New Gen Politics. In honor of Father's Day, I'd like to talk about an issue that's very prevalent in modern day America, and that's fatherless homes. But first, I'd like to read a few statistics related to this. Currently, there's 18.4 million of fatherless homes in the United States. One out of every four children grows up without a father figure. 90% of runaway and homeless kids come from fatherless homes. 75% of all teenage murderers, 71% of high school dropouts, 70% of kids incarcerated, 85% of children that exhibit behavioral disorders, 75% of adolescent participants in substance abuse, 60% of all those who commit sexual assault, and 63% of youth suicides all come from fatherless homes. So, there's a huge correlation between bad behavior and fatherless homes. And this is not a little known statistic. The evidence is clear as day that the most optimal situation for children is to grow up with two parents, both a mother and a father, because both the mother and the father bring different things to a child's life. And today I'd like to focus more specifically on the father's role. And one of the major roles is discipline. And instilling their children with a sense of discipline that keeps them from committing such egregious behaviors. It keeps them on the right track and able to work hard to build a better future for themselves. But unfortunately, 25% of children not having a father figure, we're seeing an increase in all of these bad behaviors, an increase in substance abuse, increase in suicide, an increase in crime. And it's really, really sad to see this happen. And what our society does is it seems to not push for fathers to be in the homes. This is an issue that, left unchecked, is going to become a bigger and bigger problem because children who grow up without fathers don't have a male role model. They don't understand how to be a good father. They may not even desire to be a father. They may follow the same path as their father to not take responsibility for their children, for their wife. And that seems to be happening. It's a pattern that's continuing. As we know, the family structure is the most important part of America. It's the vital core that builds up this country. And without strong families, all sorts of other problems are allowed to take over. Strong communities are built from strong families, and strong communities is what make up this country. We're a nation built from many different segments, and that boils all down to the family structure. But when you eliminate the family structure, you also see this increase in individualism, which is been happening, coinciding with the movement for relativism and this push for I am the smallest unit of my nation, that the most important person in the world is me, and I have no obligations to my family, and I would not consider my family the smallest unit. And that doesn't really bode well for a nation when people see themselves as the only thing they want to look after, where they're not willing to sacrifice for anybody else because it's to their benefit. Because being part of a family is hard, and sacrificing is hard. And someone who often has to sacrifice a lot in a family is a father. That exemplifies what it means to be a man for young men. And having a strong and bald father is what symbolizes to women what a good man is and what they should try to achieve. And you become a role model for your family and also for other people in your community. And that can build upon itself and encourage those to go out and improve themselves and to be strong fathers themselves. The fathers who keep evil away, who protect their family. And we've talked about the role of fathers to protect their family. Most people will acknowledge that, and most of the time they consider it physically, which is very important. But you have to protect your family spiritually in prayer. Lead them in prayer. You have to protect your family economically through providing. You have to protect your family from the evils of the world, whether that be what's going on in the educational system or what your children have access to on the internet. It's a very important role for fathers to protect their families. And when that layer of protection is gone because he has chosen to step away from his family, that family has left, in a sense, unprotected by many of the problems in the world. And single mothers have it tough. They have to raise children They have to work, they have to educate them, they have to take care of them, they have to do all these things, and their time is spread so thin. And so it's very hard for them to stay on top of everything and realize what is exactly going on in their children's lives. Between working to provide for them and taking care of them, it's hard to be as involved with them because she's not divvying up the labor. I've had many friends who've grown up without a father in the home, and it's been very challenging for them. And luckily, they had a strong male role model in their life somewhere, a grandparent, a priest, a teacher, a community member. And that's what was enabled them. That's the person who taught them what it's like to be a real man and kept them on the track from falling into those things. And it's really hard to see when a lot of people don't have that opportunity to have someone like that in their lives. They grow up without a father and they don't have someone who replaces that. They have the local gang leader, the local criminal who kind of takes them in, an older boy in their age group who's already fallen into some bad behavior. Someone with a masculine figure of authority takes the place of the father, because every boy needs a father and every daughter desires a strong man, but they don't have a clear guide as to what that is. So they end up falling for the wrong thing. And that's really a tragedy more often than not. And so there's a clear lack there for taking care of his wife. And that problem manifests in the children. You see these problems coming out of single mother households. And it's not saying that mothers are not needed, but it's saying mothers can't play the role of fathers in the disciplinary. And fathers actually teach empathy to children, surprisingly enough. A lot of people mistakenly think mothers teach empathy, where they actually don't. It's fathers. When fathers are playing with their children and one child hits another, the father takes the toy away that they're playing with and says, look, because you made your sister feel bad, I'm taking your toy away. And now no one's having fun. And then they learn that when they hurt others, they're not allowed to have fun. Basically, hurting others is not fun. And it's a loss for you in life to hurt others. And that's instilled by the father, the main disciplinary figure in the household. And there's tons of other things that mothers provide that fathers can't replicate. And I can talk about that further in a different video, but I just wanted to make the point that fathers are important. And they're not just important because it's another person helping out. They're important because they give an irreplaceable part to the family structure and to the children's lives. Thank your fathers, and have a great Father's Day. And now that you've heard what I think, please let me know what you think down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.